Doing Cody. So this is part 2. So with part 2, you said you had all this stuff off. So I forgot to tell you, there's 2 bolts holding this tail in. You're gonna have to take the tail off too. So when you take the tail off, it'll just be the tail, and then it'll have the wires to the tail motor. You've got to take pliers and you have to crush the carbon fiber rod that leads to the back of this, what's holding this tail motor on. And normally this is when you're going to need a Dremel, because if when you crush this with a like a needle nose plier, you'll just crush it, and then you'll split the little carbon fiber fibers, and then you can get to the, once you split it, you'll see the wires in there. But you got to make sure not to squish it or break the wires, or you're going to have to resolder the wires. Or you can just cut the wires off, pull the wire out. That way you have the motor like this. So it'd be the motor with the wires attached. But if you, like I said, if you cut it, you can just cut it, slide the motor out of the boom, and then you'll have the motor, and then you'll just solder those back on. That way you can connect it to the flight board, because you want to get as much of the you want to get as much of the heavy stuff off, so that you just get like a bare minimum of just the electronics that you will stick inside the canopy. So this back here be the wires to the motor, which you can what I would do is I would drill a hole to where the rear prop would go, or the tail rotor, and then I would glue it onto the plastic, run the wires through, and then you're going to have to put this frame, just the frame alone, not the electronics, and you're going to have to match it up inside your canopy. So you need a Dremel to match up the holes. You're going to match up the servos, because I think with this one the servos are going to kind of poke out, so you have to match it up. So you're going to have to match it up the best you can so it has free motion of the servos going up and down, because if it doesn't have free motion, it'll bind and your helicopter's not going to fly right. So match it up the best you can, and then on the bottom too, you're going to have to, when you get it all in here, you'll see what I'm talking about. You're going to have to make sure that that bottom, because I know it has like a little aluminum pin or aluminum stopper right here, that will stick out right here on the bottom just a little bit. So you're going to have to make a hole in the bottom of your canopy so that sticks out a little bit. And then your electronics like this, once you get it in or out, it'll fold in like here. This thing needs to focus. It'll go in the front, the gyro, it'll wrap around to the electronics right there. And this is the canopy that you can take off. It'll wrap around to the electronics, and then you'll connect everything. When you have one half done and it fits, then you'll put the other half together so it all fits. Make sure this fits in there properly, your gyro, and then once you get it closed, you can open up your canopy, and then from the top view, the little battery would sit right on the side right here. You'll slide it right onto the side. That'll be your gyro, your electronics, and your mechanisms that make everything move. And then your battery will slide into the side right here. You will have room to slide. That's what I did with mine. And then be able to close the canopy. And then that's how you get it all kind of hidden in there. So if you have any more questions, just ask, and then I'll try to explain more of it to you if I can. Okay, have a good night.